Hi.
Welcome to my applications,
Thank you.
where we talk matters mental health. And I've been talking to you, and you understand so much about mental health. So I want you to educate what about mental health, because there are those who don't really understand the difference between insanity and mental illness. So take it away.
Well, I wouldn't know. How do I begin? Mental health, just like the phrase says, is health.
Yeah.
There's health of the physical body, there's health of the mind, there's health, different psychological health. So all that is health. And for us to have fullness of health, then we must be healthy top to bottom, in and out. And there's a lot of misconception around mental health, because when you tell someone that I have a mental health problem, the first thing they think about is a mad person with no clothes or dirty clothes or stuff like that.
Yeah.
But mental health is a very broad term that covers many things.
Yeah.
A lot of issues that are under mental health are not issues of anyone's doing.
Yeah.
For example, a mother gets pregnant, and in the course of that pregnancy they give birth, they have postpartum depression.
Yes.
That's not anything anyone called for. There was no application. Or you go through a very traumatic experience, gender-based violence, rape, road accident or road crash as I call them. You lose your legs, you lose the use of some of your body parts. That is very traumatic.
Yes.
And trauma, depending on how you react and how your coping mechanism is, can lead you to that place of getting stagnated
Yes.
in your mind, and therefore posing a mental issue. So it is not a preserve of some disadvantaged people, some caste that came from somewhere. Mental health is real, and it can affect anyone, regardless of profession, regardless of social status. It is just response sometimes to what is going on around a person, or sometimes it is something genetic that comes through
Yeah.
the genes. So you can't judge harshly
Yeah.
people who say they have mental issues. It's a norm.
Yeah. I feel sometimes like we society make the people who are suffering hide in their closets because of the kind of judgment that, as you have put it, like we view them as weak, and I believe there is strength in vulnerability. True or false?
It's true. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable, it's because you have trusted yourself enough
Yeah.
to deal with the repercussion of being vulnerable. A person who does not allow themselves to, they hide, they cover up, they pose like all is well. So that's for me a sign of weakness. Strength is when you can accept who you are and be strong and be able to stand for who you are and where you are at. And the issue of people not wanting to be exposed if they have mental health comes all the way from our upbringing.
Yes.
Our society, and maybe even the words, the language. I don't think our society or our African languages or Kenyan languages differentiates between the different types of mental health.
Yeah.
If I may say it in Kiswahili, I think there's only one word, mwendawazimu.
Yeah.
I don't know whether there are other words, and language is very strong.
Yes.
Language, the words we use show us what we think about a situation. For example, if a person with disability is called Kiwete, it tells me where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Because it's a person with disability is a person with disability. The same thing with mental health. The same thing with mental health. So the society needs sensitization to know that this can be anyone's issue, and it doesn't make you a lesser person if you have issues of mental health, and there is help available. Going to see a counselor should not be seen as something that makes you less than.
Yeah.
It's just the same way you go and see a coach. It's just the same way you go and visit a doctor.
Yeah.
So when it comes to somebody that works with you in matters mental, then it shouldn't be seen like it is something less or something awkward.
Yeah.
So we should normalize. I think what we need to do, should normalize the fact that holistic health has everything to do with the body, spirit, and soul.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for bringing light to this. It's a giant.
Yes, it is.
It's a
It
giant.
is. Yeah.
And people need to, as I've always said, people need to realize that mental health can affect anybody, as life has put it. And we should embrace those who are going through it and help them heal. As you have had, speaking out is the beginning of getting help. And vulnerability is not weakness; it's in fact strength. So speak up and get the help that you desire.